Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of We Are Milton, a podcast brought to you by the City of Milton. The goal of the podcast is to provide information about all things related to Milton, Wisconsin. I'm Inga Cushman, Administrative Services Director for the City of Milton, and with me today is Barb Braun. She is representing the One Apple Lunch Bunch. So thank you for joining us, Barb.
Well, thank you for having me.
So can you give us a little general overview of what the One Apple Lunch Bunch is and what your role is with the organization?
Oh, okay. You're going to put me on the spot and say, what's my role?
Yeah.
I guess my role is organizer and all around do what has to be done.
Okay.
So One Apple Lunch Bunch serves free summer lunch to any student in the Milton School District. And we start when school is out and we end just before school goes back in. And then we also serve weekend lunches during the school year to families that ask for additional help.
That's great. That's a great resource for those families. Are you doing weekend lunches as well during the summer or just weekday lunches?
Starting this week, we will also do weekend lunches. There is a nonprofit called Blessings in a Backpack that we used this last school year, thanks to Charter NEX Films. And they contacted me and said they will supply weekend lunches all summer long too.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So the food came today.
So the One Apple Lunch Bunch, is that affiliated with any other organizations in the city, or is that a standalone nonprofit?
It's affiliated with Milton United Methodist Church.
Okay. And you serve a role with the church as well, correct?
I'm the outreach coordinator at the church.
Okay. So good connection with this program makes sense, right?
Right. Yeah.
So typically during the summer months, the One Apple Lunch Bunch in the past, they've had in-person lunches at Lamar Park on the west side of the city, correct?
Right. We served a picnic lunch there at Lamar, right next to West Elementary, because we had the students coming out of summer school and it just seemed like a good place to serve lunch. So our first summer was 2018. And we served 2,600 lunches on our first summer.
That's
and
amazing.
then last year we served 5,000 lunches.
Continually growing.
Yes, it really was growing.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID kind of made a big change in our plans for this year.
Yes, it's made a big change in everybody's plans in every aspect of their lives, I think, and this is no different. So how are you guys managing distribution of the meals this year?
So this year we are making all of our, this year we're only having cold sandwiches, and we're making all of our sandwiches at church, and then we distribute them via drive-up at Harmony Elementary on Monday and Wednesday, and at the church on Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay. And who had the initial idea for the program?
So the initial start of the program was January in 2018, when a few months before that, someone had a prayer request for the families during the summer finding enough food to feed their children, because so many children here in Milton qualify for free or reduced lunches.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, Judy Wenham and I got together and we started talking about needs that are in Milton. And one of the needs we felt was very important was feeding the children. So that's where it started.
That's great. So if someone wants to or needs to sign up for the program, are there any stipulations or anything like that? Or can anybody sign up to receive the meals this summer?
Anybody whose children attend in the Milton School District are eligible to receive the free meals.
Okay. And how do they go about signing up?
So there is on our Facebook page, which is Milton Now I've got to say it right because, you do it so many times and you kind of forget where you're going. It's Milton Summer Lunch Program on Facebook, and there is a live link that they can click on, and then they'll be able to sign up directly there. Or if they go to the Milton School District page and under Resources for Families, which is under the COVID-19 tab, they will find a link for the family summer lunches too.
Great. Is there a phone number or anything that people could call if they did have any questions on, I don't know, any aspects of the program, or should they just contact through the Facebook page?
Facebook page would be best because there's an email and a phone number on that Facebook page.
Perfect. Good. So one thing I've been wondering is who came up with the name for the One Apple Lunch Bunch?
Actually, it was Pastor Steve Scott, and he made a comment, it probably was in February or March of 2018, and something about how we were connecting so well with the community and not one apple was served.
Mm.
And so I thought, that's that one apple served. What can we do with it? So it came up, the One Apple Lunch Bunch.
I like it. It's a very cute, fun name for a really important program.
Thank you.
So, you said that the idea for the program came after a prayer request from someone at the church. So how did they, or how did the church or the group find that there was this type of a need in the community? Did you do research on how many kids were getting those free and reduced meals at the schools?
Did. Yeah. Then we reached out to the school district. The school district cannot release any names, but they could give me, information about the percentage of children that qualify for the free and reduced, and that's where we went. And then with the help of the school district, we figured out how to do it.
Good. Are you finding that there's more students and families that are participating in the program this year than previous years?
It's so hard to judge because in previous years, they did not have to register. They just showed up at the park and we had food available. As of right now, we have 183 students signed up for daily lunches. Whereas in previous, let's use last year as an example. During summer school, we would serve over 200 lunches a day. Mm-hmm. Once summer school was over and the kids weren't that captive audience anymore, then the number dropped quite a bit. So, if you use those numbers, we're probably about the same as what we were in previous years.
Yeah. Good. So if someone wants to become involved in the One Apple Lunch Bunch, what do you need help with? What is the time commitment like for that someone might expect?
So right now we use volunteers to make sandwiches and assemble the bags and then pass them out. We start making sandwiches at 10 in the morning and we start serving lunches at 11 o'clock. So, and we're done at noon. So, from 10 until noon or a little bit after.
Okay.
Because we, have to unload it all or move it back into church, whichever it is.
And you're doing food disbursements this year 2 days a week. What was it again? What was the schedule?
So we actually disperse 4 days a week. So Monday and Wednesday we're over at Harmony. And then Tuesday and Thursday we're at the church.
Okay.
So they actually get 5 days of lunches in those 2 disbursements.
Okay. And so if I was a student, I would just go to the ones at like the church or the ones at Harmony. I wouldn't go to both sets of disbursements.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we set up 2 locations because we have such a large school district and many of them live over in that Harmony area.
Hmm.
We thought that was a good place, then they didn't have to drive all the way into town always.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Being able to be
Yeah,
accessible to the people you're trying to serve.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So is there anything else about the program that you think that people should know?
Um, well, one of the things when we started this was the idea that it takes the whole community to raise a child, and the whole community has really stepped up to finance this, and volunteers from all over
Hmm.
to make this work.
That's great. Do you have a lot of private donors, or is it more organizations that are donating to the program?
This year we've had many more private donors than we have in the past, probably because it got a little more publicized
Hmm.
with COVID out there, and the school district was already distributing lunches, so they passed on more information about our summer lunch program.
Hmm.
We have two large corporate sponsors. One is Landmark Services Co-op out of Cottage Grove,
Okay.
and Cargill Feeds and Nutrition here in town. We have grants from the Milton Fund, the Methodist Foundation, and United Way this year. And then lots of money from local businesses and residents.
Good. Well, I know that the One Apple Lunch Bunch really appreciates the support from the community, but we do as well. And just being able to help so many of our community members, we really appreciate the work you are doing and all the volunteers for the organization as well.
Thank you.
So, everyone, thank you for listening to this episode of We Are Milton. Our podcast is available on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Facebook. And I post a video version on our YouTube channel as well. So, until next time,
We are Milton.